Jimmy Butler, he's a very interesting player to me.
He's like, oh shoot, I don't know where to go with the ball because I haven't been able to think.
It was a great series. Game 4 was one of the best games I've ever watched in my entire life. Now LeBron's a 4-time champion, and Anthony Davis gets his first.
It's unacceptable. So happy when the Astros lost because it would definitely be a 2020 thing.
Yeah, I was impressed by their game. Braden Point, Andre Palat, Nikita Kucherov, that was the best line in the playoffs, no doubt.
Stay undefeated when they face the mighty Cowboys with Garrett Gilbert.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared Sandler, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week. I'm Kevin, and my team is not in the playoffs this year, but his team is back in the playoffs and as a 7th seed again, facing a number 2 seed, Austin.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting playoffs. There's a lot of storylines here, obviously, with the Chiefs going for a three-peat. The Lions trying to break the curse, the Bills trying to break the curse, the Vikings trying to break the curse. It's a lot of teams that either have won a lot or haven't won at all that are going to be contending this year, and a lot of teams below that are trying to shock the world.
Yeah, and we have a lot of rematches over the years. Like, first, you have Washington versus the Buccaneers, which has been a common matchup for the teams. Then a lot of like traditional, like you also have Steelers Ravens, but I'm really interested to see how this goes. I feel so like I made my predictions, and I am confident, but I'm like something's gonna change in these predictions. So may not we'll see what happens because I feel like something's gonna happen. I do think it's gonna be a really fun playoff, so I'm really excited for that. And yeah, I'll let you choose how you want to get started.
Yeah, so let's start in the AFC. We'll start obviously with the wild card games and get going from there. Let's start with Texans Chargers. I have the Texans winning 21-20. I have a lot of close games in these playoffs, especially in the first round, because a lot of these teams don't have that much experience, or at least they are new teams that are built around. But the Texans, they were in the playoffs last year, beat Cleveland. I think that they do win. I know a lot of people are picking the Texans to lose here, but the Chargers had their fair share of injuries, and the Texans obviously have lost Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell to injury as well. But I think the Texans can power through and barely edge them out. Next is Ravens Steelers. I have the Steelers surprising the Ravens 24-16. It's going to be in Baltimore, but we haven't really seen playoff Lamar play well just yet, and I think the Steelers defense can really punish him for that. And then Bills Broncos. I had the Bills winning 27-10.
Okay. All right. So we disagree on some. I'll go Texans Chargers. I have the Chargers winning, and I do think this one's going to be close. So I have it Chargers winning 27-20, and you do have the injuries with the Chargers, and then of course with the wide receiver core for the Texans. And CJ Stroud is just not. He's in a sophomore slump, and I'm trusting Justin Herbert here, but like we know what CJ Stroud can do, and I was really high on him with the quarterback rankings, and if for some reason it's just not working for him, and I do think the Chargers win because of Justin Herbert. In the past 3 weeks, they've been playing well, but so I see that continuing, even though they do have injuries on the offensive line, which is going to be tough with the defensive line of the Texans. So really interested to see how this one plays out, but I'm going to go with the Chargers. Then Steelers Ravens. Yeah, it's playoff Lamar, not really same as regular season Lamar. I have this being a weird game. I have the score being 16-13. I think it's going to be a bunch of field goals. I have the Ravens winning because I'm not trusting the Steelers. They've had a bad month, and I know they can turn it around, but I think it's going to be tough. So I think there's going to be some good plays, but it's really just going to be field goals because that's what we've seen. And it's going to be close because of these are divisional rivals. And then Broncos Bills, I'm going Bills here as well with you. Broncos, I think, could put up a fight. It just depends on how Bo Nix plays. He has played well over the past month, but it is different for him. It is the playoffs, so we'll have to see what happens. So 30-20 Bills win.
Okay. Let's stay in the AFC. Who do you have in the divisional rounds?
So I'll go. I have Ravens Bills. I have the Bills winning 30-24. this is where I think we can see playoff Lamar and just kind of the Ravens defense. Even though the Ravens did beat the Bills last time and it was pretty solid, I do think the Bills do enough and they rely on Josh Allen. Next, I have Chargers versus Chiefs. I have Chiefs winning again. I think the offense will do just enough. And it's really going to be powered by the Chiefs defense. I have it 24-21 Chiefs win.
Okay. I have the Chiefs versus the Steelers in my first divisional game, and I have the Chiefs winning 24-13. And I have Bills versus Texans, and I have the Bills winning 36-13. I think there's a clear top two teams in the AFC, and I think they both make it to the AFC Championship.
Okay, and want to go right into the AFC Championship?
Sure. I have the Bills winning 31-17 against the Chiefs. I do not have the Chiefs three-peating this year. I think the Bills get over the hump.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I have the Chiefs winning, which I'm like, this feels like I'm just going with the number one overall pick or number one seed. Because the Bills did beat the Chiefs in the regular season, which we have seen before, and then it comes to the playoffs and then the Chiefs win. So I'm going on that formula, but it's going to be close. However, the Chiefs winning, they can't get into a scoring match. Like you have the Bills scoring 31 and then the Chiefs scoring 17, right?
Yeah, 31-17.
And the Chiefs, I want to double check, but I believe that stat still exists. The Chiefs have not gone over 30 points this season.
No, they have not.
They've not. So to me, like I said before, it's relying on their defense, and I have them winning 23-21. Some Mahomes magic of just getting it to the right guy, but you could also say more Andy Reid magic with just kind of how this offense is not really working. It's not clicking like it used to be. It's an average offense. Same thing it was last year, I would say. So I have the Chiefs winning, beating the Bills 23-21. I think more heartbreak for the Bills. Just kind of this is how it happens, but I'm interested to see what happens because this would be great. This is kind of what we all see with the Chiefs Bills is like, ooh, AFC Championship game. We go to that overtime game years and years ago. It should be really fun. And you do have Josh Allen, who's playing in MVP form. And you do have that in Mahomes, even though he hasn't really demonstrated that this season. So I'm really excited for the AFC slate of games.
Yeah, I think both sides are good. What does your NFC wildcard look like?
So, yeah, this one is going to be really fun. I have Vikings versus Rams. I have the Vikings winning 30-24. Washington versus the Buccaneers. I have the Bucs winning 34-30. The Bucs don't have a great defense, and Washington does have a great defensive mind in Dan Quinn. But to me, the Bucs are great at running the ball, and that is Dan Quinn's weakness. We saw that last year. And he does have linebackers and some incredible defensive linemen, but I do feel the Bucs take advantage of this, and it gets into a scoring match, and they get the final touchdown. 34-30. Then I have Packers-Eagles. This one's tough because you do have the Packers and Jordan Love's been playing great. He is injured, but then you also have Jalen Hurts coming off injury with his concussion protocol. I think this is a low-scoring game because both are great defenses. I give the edge to the Eagles defense, which is just incredible. 17-14 Eagles win.
Okay. I have the NFC wildcard looking like the Vikings beating the Rams in Glendale, Arizona now, 23-20. I have the Commanders beating the Bucs 23-17, and I have the Eagles beating the Packers 24-20.
Yeah. I know the Washington Bucs game is going to be very interesting to me because I can see it going either way. You do have a rookie quarterback in Jaden Daniels, but kind of comparing him to Bo Nix, I trust Jaden Daniels more. And the Bucs, I'm interested in what the Bucs do on defense, but that's going to be a really exciting game. Same thing with the Eagles, Packers. I'd be really surprised if there are any dud games this playoffs.
Yeah, there'll probably be some just inherently, but I don't think there's going to be too many of them. My divisional round looks like the Lions beating the Commanders 34-20, and I have the Vikings beating the Eagles 20-14.
Ooh, okay, yeah. Yeah, and that's okay. So you're getting the matchup of that NFC Championship game between Lions Vikings. I have that in the divisional round. Lions beat the Vikings 27-24. Then I have the Eagles beating the Bucks 28-20.
Okay. What does your NFC Championship look like?
So my NFC Championship game, I know I've gone with the favorites each. I've gone with the higher seed each time, which is why I'm a little uneasy, but it's just that's how I view the teams. I have the Lions losing this. There has been the talk of injuries with the Lions, and part of me doesn't see that affecting them because of just the Lions mentality of it's just like we don't care, we're going to play our best no matter what. But I do think that comes up against the Eagles, and we'll have to see how their defense goes, but I think it's going to be a close game. I have the Eagles winning, though, and beating the Lions 34-30.
So you have a rematch between the Eagles and Chiefs.
Yes, I do. That to me seems like a possibility, but we'll have to see if there are some wild runs. And it really does shake out to do the Vikings not face the Lions in the divisional round on the NFC side.
I could see that. I also could see them obviously in my NFC Championship game. And I have this game being a classic. I do have the Lions winning 24-23. I think it's going to be one of the best games in playoff history, if not for what I have happening in the Super Bowl.
Ooh, okay. So what's the score again?
The NFC Championship game, I had 24-23.
Okay. How many games have you reached 30?
Let me count. 1, 2, 3. I have mentioned 3.
Okay. All right. So far, I've mentioned 5. Because I feel there's just gonna be some great offenses gonna be scoring. But yeah, let's go into your Super Bowl. Okay, so you have Bills Lions. Okay, that would be really fun, just because one is gonna get the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the curse has to end for someone. The curse has to end for someone.
Okay, all right. Do you want to go first or me go first?
I can go first. I had this being the probably not just highest scoring Super Bowl ever, but probably greatest Super Bowl ever. 43-42, Bills win the Super Bowl.
Ooh, Bills. Okay.
Yep.
Who's the MVP?
I think it'd have to be Josh Allen if it was this high scoring.
Yeah. Ooh, that'd be really exciting. And so many rematches, I would say, because you do have that rematch from a while ago where I think both teams went over 40 points in that Bills-Lions regular season game.
Was that this year?
Yeah, this year. Yeah.
Yeah, let me check.
I think it was after the Rams game because the Bills defense gave up 40 points.
Yeah, it was 48-42. So, yeah. I can definitely see that being a very high-scoring game. The Lions' defense is extremely injured. The Bills' defense is not great, but I think it's going to be really high-scoring. I think that we see a Super Bowl for the ages, and one where, again, someone is going to break the curse. I mean, there's a lot of teams that have that. There's 3 teams mainly. It's really the Vikings, Lions, and Bills, and all 3 teams have a lot of wins this year.
Yeah. And then you do have the Chiefs. I think it's really exciting that they are pursuing a three-peat and they're in the playoffs. I have them winning this three-peat. I have the Chiefs beating the Eagles 27-24. And my prediction as MVP, I'm just going to say, of course, how it plays out would be Mahomes wins MVP. But for my prediction, I'm going to go because of the defense and just what it does for this Chiefs team. I have Chris Jones winning Super Bowl MVP.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to think if there are any fun things you want to talk about with the playoffs and the predictions. I'm really interested to see how this wild card weekend shakes out.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. We'll definitely do some previews and stuff like that of future rounds and get everyone's feel. I mean, I think that this kind of feels like college a little bit because college this year, I know we don't talk that much about college football, but college this year feels like anyone can really win it, and I really do feel that about this playoffs. I only think there's a couple of teams that I really don't think have that much of an opportunity, and it's honestly the only team I really cannot see win it is probably the Bucks because they're so injured. I think if they had Chris Godwin and had some guys on defense, Antoine Winfield especially on defense, I think they'd have a chance. But they're so injured that it's going to be hard. And the other team is the Broncos. I feel like you can win it with the rookie QB. It just can't be the way that the Broncos are currently built. But both of those teams are very good, and obviously they can prove me wrong. But I think anyone can really have a chance of winning, and I'm definitely excited for these playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you on the Bucks. Broncos, it'd be tough with a rookie QB, but I can see the Broncos making a run. And I'm really interested to see how that Broncos Bills game plays out because that's the whole thing. And you have it with Lamar Jackson too. Can they actually play well and their team win? Because Josh Allen played well in the OT game against the Chiefs, but they still lost. So Broncos, I think, have a real good chance of upsetting the Bills, but I do feel like the Bills pull it out and win it. But yeah, I'm really excited. Well, yeah, of course we'll keep you reviewing, and I'm most excited about reviewing games, just seeing what happens. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.